Hey gaming fans, so today's another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, and this one is Fabled. I've actually had these cards for quite a while, and I've tried different versions of this deck, different builds of it, and so I thought, let's try another build, and so I put this one together. So, let's get to the deck. So we got 3 of the Fabled Chawa. This one's pretty cool, actually. During your main phase, you can discard 1 Fable monster and special summon this card from your hand. So if you're not familiar with the Fableds, pretty much that's what they are. They're kind of like Dark Worlds, where you want to discard them and then they get effects. Either they special summon themselves, or special summon another one of themselves, or something else like that. So this one actually works really well with the theme, because you get to special summon it, and you get to discard a Fable monster, which is a potential another special summon. And speaking of special summons, we got 3 of the Fabled Cherubel, I don't know. See, these are, I'm probably going to mess up all these names. This is a Beast Tuner. That's the other thing, is they're all about Synchro Summoning. So when he's discarded to the graveyard, you special summon it. So you got to be careful. You got to watch out for your tuners, because you can't tune. Typically can't tune 2 tuners together to make a monster. So you got to be careful with that. Then we got, for some non-tuners, we got the Fabled Nozuchi. During your main phase, you could discard 1 Fabled monster and special summon this card from your hand. So again, more special summoning. And when this card is special summoned this way, you could special summon 1 level 2 or lower Fabled monster from your hand. So again, getting more monsters onto the field to build up for your Synchro Summoning. Then we got the Fabled Raven. I was debating on this one, but it's a good way to discard cards. So once per turn, you can discard any number of cards, and if you do, this card gains 1 level and 400 attack for each discarded card. So it's good. I mean, it gives itself a power boost if you need it, and it discards the cards out of your hand, and of course it's also a tuner. And then we got 2 of the Fabled Krus. When this card is discarded to the graveyard, select 1 level 4 or lower Fabled monster in your graveyard, except him, and special summon it. So, this gets it out of the grave, because, you're discarding a lot, so you might as well also, special summon from the grave. And, of course, it's a non-tuner as well. So just trying to pay attention to the tuners and non-tuners is a critical one. And then we got probably, one of the better ones, too, the Fabled Ganesha. So this is a beast, and when he's discarded to the graveyard, you special summon it. That's all. But when special summoned this way, it gains 200 attack, and it's removed from play when it's removed from the field. So, unfortunately, you won't be able to reoccur this guy if you special summon him using his effect. But, if for whatever reason you don't, he could still come back. And then we got the Fabled Kushunu. You could discard 1 Fabled monster to the graveyard, except this guy, and add this card from your graveyard to your hand. So basically, you just discard and then you add them to your hand. So he's really good, and again, he gives you another way to discard monsters. And we got your Searcher of the deck, the Fabled Grimro. So I got 3 of those. This one is a level 4 non-tuner, and if you control a face-up Fabled monster, which most cases you will, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and add 1 Fabled monster from your deck to your hand. So he's kind of like your Reinforcements of the Army type card. And just for some added discarding and potential draw power, I added in 3 of the Danger Kupa. I always mess that up. So he's pretty much, I don't have any other dangers, so I had to go with this one anyways. But you can reveal this card from your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses 1 card from your entire hand. Then you discard the chosen card. Then, if the discarded card was not this guy, special summon 1 danger, himself, from your hand, and then you get to draw a card. So, I mean, that's really going to help you if they discard one of your cards that you want discarded. You actually get to special summon it or whatever. And then if, you get to special summon him, and then you get to draw a card. So, obviously, he really works. I mean, just like the Danger Dark World theme, where they like to discard. So, quite a few monsters. I think I got about 24 monsters or 23 monsters in here last time I counted. So quite a big monster pile in there. So for the spells, we got I decided to go with Draw Power. And I figured Pot of Desires is you know, the easiest one because it's an actual +1, and you do play a lot of the same. Like this deck, there's a lot of 3s and 2s, and you know, there really isn't anything in there that you wouldn't really, you know, worry about if you lost it from banishing. But this gets you into your deck a little bit further. Card destruction, again, it's going to help dig into your deck, but it's also going to discard cards from your hand, which is what you want to do in this deck. And of course, 3 Dark World Dealings, same idea. You get to draw a card and then discard a card, so really going to help. You're going to hopefully discard things like the Chawa, or sorry, not the Chawa, the Cherry Bell, or the Ganusha, to special summon it to the field. Then I put in 1 Arius Rock Sunrise, which is target 1 beast type monster in your graveyard, because you do play quite a few beasts in this deck. Also, some of your synchro monsters are beasts. And then you special summon it, and then all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls lose 200 attack for each beast, plant, or wing beast type monster you currently have in your graveyard until the end of the turn. So that could really help too, because you might be able to shrink your opponent's monsters down a bit. And 1 of the Monster Reborn, of course. You're only allowed 1. Instant Fusion, just to try and get more monsters onto the field, because this is all about Synchro Summoning or Link Summoning, depending on what you want to do. But it's all about just getting the monsters out on the field. And then I added in a Mind Control. Again, because you're going to be stuck with a lot of tuners in this deck. And, you know, a couple times I drew some hands out of this, and I drew, like, all tuners into my hand. So it'd be good to either, you know, steal a monster and tune with it to Synchro Summon, or use your Instant Fusion to pull out a fusion monster that you could Synchro Summon with. And if anything, you got the Recursion. And that's it for the spells. And then for the trap lineup, I went with a very simple one. Pretty much the Solemn Brigade. 3 Solemn Judgment and 3 Solemn Warning. Or sorry, Strike. This you could play around with, I would think. I just kind of went with that because you just want to say no to your opponent, and this deck you really want to get the setup going and then keep your synchro monsters alive. So that was what I was thinking there. And that's the deck. So for the extra deck, we got some Fabled stuff in here. So I got the Fabled Kudabi, which is it requires 1 Fabled tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. It's a level 4. And then this card gains the following based on a number of cards in your hand. So you're not going to have, well, you know, most cases you might not have a lot of cards in your hand because you're constantly discarding. So if you have 0 cards in your hand, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And he's okay, he's a 2200 attack. And then if you have 3 or more cards, you have to destroy this card during the end phase. So it's just about card management with this guy. Then I put 1 Fabled Unicorn. Again, he's a level 4. It's kind of a fun card. I mean, it's not always going to be a perfect card because it does depend on the cards in hand. But while you and your opponent have the same number of cards in hand, negate all spell, trap, and effect monsters activated by your opponent and destroy them. So it's kind of a fun card if you can manage to get your hand to be exactly the same as your opponent's. But you know, they can work around that. And probably the best one of the synchros, the Fabled Reagan, or Ragin, however you want to pronounce that. 1 Fabled tuner, 1 or more non-tuner, so he's a 5. When this card is Synchro Summon, if you have 1 or less cards in your hand, you can draw until you have 2 cards in your hand. So again, you know, playing with the Solemn cards, you'd probably set them all before you go into your Synchro Summoning, or any of your spells for that matter. Just set them into the field, and then discard all your cards out of your hand to get the Synchros going, and then summon this guy to draw 2 new cards. So then I got level 6, because I figure, you know, you could probably go into many different levels in this deck. So a Bryonic, why not? Again, it discards cards, so it does help. Black Rose, just in case you need to clear the field, if you can pull out a level 7. The level 8 Fabled Valkyros, it's also a Fabled tuner required for this one. And then once per turn, you could discard 1 Fiend type monster to draw 1 card. And you do play quite a few Fiends. A lot of your Fabled monsters are Fiends. They're Fiends and Beasts. And then I threw in a Trishula, because you'll be able to summon that as well. So that's what I put in for the Synchro. Then for the links, I put in a Link Karibo because we do have level 1s, an Underclock Taker, a Decode Talker, and Borrelord Dragon. No real specific reason why I chose these. These are just the ones that I have that are of, least worthy to pull out. I still need to improve on my Link monsters. And then because we're playing the 1 instant fusion, we got Thousand Eyes Restrict, and then a level 3 and a level 4 just to help, whatever, if you need to get rid of a monster, or if you just want to Synchro Summon and you need a 3 or a 4, you got them right there. And that's pretty much the deck that I put together. I'm sure there's a lot of improvements that it can use. The traps, you don't have to play the Solemns, but I think that just being able to say no is always good. And then just a number of tuners. I don't know, I might want to tweak that, maybe pull out 1 or 2 tuners in here. And there's like, a few options I was even considering, and that was this guy, the Fabled Catfish. I just couldn't fit him in, but I really like this guy. Is when this card's discarded to the graveyard, you select 1 face-up card on the field and destroy it. So if anything, if I was playing this in a tournament, I'd probably side deck that. Anyways, hope you liked the deck. Let me know what you think. This is just, something I put together that I thought would be kind of fun. And that's Fabled. Anyways, hope you liked the deck. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.